Hey folks, it's Tuesday, September 21st, and here is your forecast. We are beginning Unit 2. So today you are going to, in Task 1, learn about Assignment 2 by watching a video introduction of it and then making sure to carefully read the assignment handout. Remember that I always introduce the assignment at the beginning of every unit, all right? I want you to check out these important dates, write them down in a calendar if that's something that you do. And then I want you to also, and this is related to learning assignment 2, is just watch this little mini lecture on how to craft an annotated bibliography entry. And then I want you to read this sample document that kind of gives you a concrete example of how to write an annotated bibliography entry, all right? And really pay attention to this because this is me summarizing really clearly what an annotated bibliography entry is supposed to do, all right? And then also really make sure that you're paying attention to these instructions right here because I'm actually telling you how to do this correctly, okay? So just kind of keep that in mind, all right? And then we're going to actually start practicing writing an annotated bibliography entry. So we're going to do that by practicing drafting an annotated bib entry for the Tobin et al. Article that we read in the first unit of class. So if you need to spend some time like refamiliarizing yourself with the Tobin piece, that's totally fine because you're going to need the thesis and then also 2 compelling examples that Tobin et al. Use to support their argument. And with the examples, it's like, what is a specific claim that they're making? And then what's a concrete example of that? So if they're talking about how Disney tends to represent masculinity, and they say that men tend to be represented as solving conflicts through violence, that's their claim. But what concrete examples do they use? And that usually includes examples from films that they're talking about, okay? And it's not enough to say, oh, well, they analyze, Cinderella. What in Cinderella, right? And then that specifically would be like the father getting angry and throwing furniture around when he's mad that his son hasn't been married or something like that. They mention things like that. Okay, so we're going to practice that today. And so once you get to this part of today's work, just once you've written your practice annotated bib, I want you to head over to Pop Research Channel 0 and then copy and paste your annotated bib entry in there. And then from there, once you've done that, I want you to at least read and respond to at least 2 of your peers' posts and give them feedback on their practice entry. And by that, I mean, look at the criteria up here, right? So does it do these things right here? Does it follow these pointers right here? Right? That's what I mean by giving them feedback because we're helping each other sharpen our skills because annotated bib entries look pretty much consistent across any time you're going to have to do it in any other class, right? So I want you to make sure that you're doing that. So you're going to read your peers' entries, give them feedback, right? And in task 4, I want you to kind of like make your practice writing count. So what I want you to do is I want you to click on this assignment 2 template and then copy and paste it to another document and save it because that way you'll have like a template already ready for assignment 2, okay? And then just kind of revise your annotation of the Tobin piece based on your peers' feedback and then paste that into your template. Now, obviously you're going to want to include like the MLA or the APA references for the Tobin piece, but then just put your entry underneath of that, okay? So follow that template. That way you've basically got, a portion of assignment 2 done just today, which is kind of neat, right? So there's that. Assignment 2 is kind of designed so that you can complete it along, which is nice so that you're not getting to the end of the unit and you're like, oh my God, I have to do this, right? Like you're gonna be like, oh, right on. Like I've got most of this done. I'm not stressed. And that's the point here. So even though we're learning something in this unit that is maybe not the most sexy assignment, this unit is like really, really fun and it's designed to, all right? So for your homework, I want you to finalize your revisions to assignment 1, right? And then to submit it in this Google Drive folder right here. Do make sure that you follow these naming conventions right here because that makes it easier for me to track, who's who's completed the assignment. Remember that I don't want you to freak out if you don't have assignment 1 done. My late policy is really generous in the sense that like you can turn in any assignment up until like the end of the semester. And I'm not going to take off points for something being late. The only difference is when you turn it in late, like if you turn it in after the deadline, just let me know that say, hey, Dr. G, I turned in my assignment today so that I know to check for it. And then just know that I'm going to grade it, but to make sure that it's like really fast and it's not sort of like taking up time in terms of like where we are in the class then. I'm just going to give you a grade and not provide a whole bunch of written feedback. So that's the only thing you lose in terms of turning something in late, is just that I am going to just give you a grade, but not give you all that written feedback. And so this is really not that big of a deal, right? So just sort of don't stress. Like, I don't want you to be like, oh my gosh, I'm so stressed. Just don't do that, right? And part of the other reason why I want to do that is because I want to make sure that you're hitting all of the benchmarks in terms of like reading sample articles and responding to certain things in this unit. And I don't want you to miss out on that, okay? So just sort of keep that in mind. All right, so that's it, friends. That's all you're doing for homework. So let's have a good day in class and have a productive, I guess, homework experience.